The reason why it's called a soap plant is that in the leaves, if you touch them, they give out some kind of a soapy mixture, which
Interesting.
is very useful when you are out in the wild and you don't have toilet paper and
Oh,
you want to wash your hands. That can absolutely be a replacement for toilet paper out in the wilds.
hi everyone. Welcome to Home Garden Tours. What's in your backyard? Today we are in a charming neighborhood of Los Altos, situated in the heart of Silicon Valley. And you can see behind me, this is a beautiful and majestic California native garden. The homeowner is Meena. Hi, Meena.
Hi, nice to meet
First of
you.
all, thank you very much for inviting us to this beautiful garden. You guys, I am super excited. I've seen this garden before during the GNGT garden tour, and the moment I saw this space, I was like, Mrinalini, I really want to take as much as I can video content and put it on the internet.
Oh, absolutely. I'm glad you reached out because part of our goal with the garden is to encourage other people to grow natives and
Yeah.
understand that that the more you grow plants from the region where you're at, the more you're actually helping to support the general ecosystem and community around. So I'm glad you took this on.
You guys see, she's already a plant nerd. So I would request you to sit back, relax, and enjoy this video. Let's get started. When did you move in here?
We've been here since 2012,
Hmm?
and when we actually moved in here, this was a pretty standard garden with a lawn, juniper, some big liquid amber trees,
Mm-hmm.
and I had already started on my journey for native plant habitats before we moved in here.
Right.
And so I had this vision that I would slowly convert my the yard into a proper native plant habitat. And so it started with us just actually, you don't even have to remove the lawn.
Yeah.
We did what is called sheet mulching,
Okay.
which is you stop watering your lawn completely, and which helped because it was during the drought period, and the California water people were also giving rebates for people who were converting their lawns into into less water intensive gardens.
Okay.
I started the journey. I never went to them to get a rebate on that, but it got me started. So the way sheet mulching works is you just put sheets of paper down, and then you put mulch on top of it,
Mm-hmm.
bark, tree
Right.
chippings, and then you just wait. So it is a slower process.
Mm-hmm.
You can start planting immediately by making cuts in your sheets of paper and planting, clearing up the grass immediately around where you want to plant. But we took our time. We waited for a season until you can be pretty sure that most of the seeds and the grass is just it's not going to come back as invasively. I wouldn't say invasively, strongly as it would otherwise.
Right.
And it was also a flat piece of land, so I used, wherever I dug out along the edges, you dig out the grass, and I used that to make mounds, which was probably not the best idea because the grass disintegrates and then the mound just collapsed.
Hmm.
But we started with this side, and if which is why this one is a little more overgrown.
Right.
And this one we did uh, ourselves initially, um, and didn't really. We had a basic understanding, my husband and I, about natives, but This took a little, we were not very careful about which plants grow with what, because these plants, they take up space.
Yeah.
You have to leave room for them to grow. And when you start with a blank slate, you don't understand how big it's going to get and fill up that space.
Right.
So, but we knew we wanted 4 keystone species.
Okay.
And the 4 keystone species are manzanitas,
Mm-hmm.
buckwheats, sages, and ceanothus. So this is a beautiful example of a manzanita. There's another one over here, which has slightly different variations in the leaves. So these two are, and manzanitas are really truly amazing plants because they have beautiful bark.
Oh, look at the
You
bark.
can look at that bark. It's just, and if just the color of the bark is amazing, and you can see this other one has a slightly different color, and the way the bark peels off,
Mm-hmm.
it's just
Like birch.
it's really beautiful. Yes, the birch.
It's
So this
beautiful.
is a paradise manzanita, and that's a baker's manzanita. This is more common.
Mm-hmm.
They do get they do have edible fruit,
Oh,
but it's really hard to get this fruit for us to eat. The birds really love it. It's also a very special plant because the way the flowers of this plant are, um, there's a very specific bee that has to get into the plant, shake it to get the pollen out.
interesting.
So it's such a small, narrow opening that nobody else except those bees thrive on it. So if you don't have these plants, those bees have no source of food. So this is also a really interesting plant because you cannot grow it from seed. It needs fire.
It needs
It
fire.
needs fire. So if you go hiking in any of the preserves, or in general where things have been left untouched, uh, it this is one of the first few plants that will come up after a fire,
Mm-hmm.
because it needs that smoke and the chemicals in the smoke for the seed to, and the heat for the seed to actually germinate. It's also unique because the seeds of this are hoarded by rodents. So you
Mm-hmm.
need rodents as well.
Wow.
And the rodents have to bury the seed at just the right depth, because anything above will burn, anything below will not sprout. So it's like a sweet spot of 4 to 6 inches below the ground. So it's a very interesting plant. Most plants that you buy in the nursery of this type are from cutting, because people just are not able to germinate them from seed. Right over here is an example of a buckwheat. There are many types of buckwheats. This one is the fastest growing and most pervasive that you will see.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a unique buckwheat to California called California buckwheat to our area, and you'll see them when you're driving along Highway 280, 101, going up towards San Francisco. It looks like little cloud puffs
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
of flowers, and that's mostly the California or the coastal buckwheats.
Mm-hmm.
So this is also, so that's a classic example of the California buckwheat. It does get big when it's happy. Um, and these are, the seeds of this are absolutely necessary for the birds, especially from when they're storing up for the winter. So we don't deadhead anything in our garden, because that's useful for the birds and plants to
Exactly.
store over later. If you deadhead and you throw away the seeds, then you've just lost
Yeah. What's the
that
point of
source
growing native then?
of growing natives or of any plants. And I want to bring this up right now because a lot of us have gardeners who come in, and mostly they're going to mow your lawn and then they're going to blow to clean up, right? Everyone wants a nice, clean looking garden. But when you're blowing, you're actually just blowing away not only your topsoil, you're also blowing away the seeds that could have stayed and germinated and
Oh.
also provided food for other critters, even insects, everyone. So, you know, This is always our dilemma because, yes, the garden looks a little messy, but it is meant to be messy because that mess is where the insects and the birds thrive.
Yeah.
So that's where we come from when we look at our garden. But yeah, that's one kind of buckwheat. That's another kind of buckwheat, and I can share. I mean, there's a picture of it when it's in bloom.
Yeah.
But it's this is what you leave so that the birds can come and get the seeds.
Wonderful.
It is called a bush poppy. It is actually not a native of this area. It comes from the Channel Islands to it's down by across from LA. So there is a Channel Island National Park, and but we all love planting this plant here, and you'll find it in many places because it is almost blooming year round if it's happy. It took us 4 years, 4 attempts to get this plant thriving, but now that it is here, it is very happy, and it's blooming pretty much all year round,
Wow.
even including winter. So it is a different kind of poppy, and this poppy also does not grow from seed. It
Mm-hmm.
also needs fire. So
Okay.
there are the regular California poppies, which will grow anywhere,
Yeah.
almost like weeds, and some people do consider them weeds. Whereas this one, even though it has the similar seed pod, you cannot grow it from seed. So
Mm.
it's a very finicky plant, but it is just so beautiful.
It does look really good.
Right.
I think the moment people would step into your property, they would see this the first. And it's so vibrant and beautiful.
Yes, and it's like I said, it's year round. So anytime there's
Yeah.
something is flowering. So
Awesome.
if we want to move along, well, we also actually decided, and we have these, which are the blue flax,
Mm-hmm.
and blue flax is native to California. There are many types of flax, obviously flax all around the world. There's the edible. We can eat the seeds from this if we take the trouble to harvest it. But the bees really love this. And this is one of the first ones to bloom. So right now it's already on its way out. But when it's blooming, there's like a sea of these blue heads, which is really amazing and wonderful to look at right when you're coming out of winter. It is another one which you just throw the seed and it
Oh,
will flower. I mean, it will grow. So it's actually jumped from across where we planted it onto this side where we had not intended it to be, but it's here, and
yeah. The more the merrier,
the
I
more the
guess.
merrier, right? Because you want to create enough density for the insects to have access to the seeds and the nectar and the pollen. So
Absolutely.
oh, there comes a monarch. So
You guys, look at the butterfly over there. Oh God, sorry, I got
yes, no,
distracted.
totally. I was like, oh, here goes the monarch.
Yeah.
This is another incredible plant. It's called Nevin's barberry. So again, barberries live all over the world. There are barberries, edible barberries in the Mediterranean region, and people make lovely chutneys and jams out of it. Um, it also has beautiful yellow flowers, and then the fruit is this bright red when it's ripe.
Oh.
The reason why we planted this is because it's very thorny.
Very what?
Very thorny. Even the
Oh.
leaves have thorns on them, so it's very hard to get to the seeds. But I have cats, and cats are the
Oh, I love cats.
but
See,
they are
cat
the
persons attract each
they are
other.
attractive, but they are the bane for birds. And so I wanted a plant where the birds can have food but not be attacked by my cats. And so my cats will not come because this is so sharp and thorny, but the birds can still come and get the fruit. So it's another very incredible, there's many varieties. This one has a sharp, sour, sweet fruit.
Okay.
There's another one in the back which is called Oregon grape. which is a little more sweet and bigger berries, but they are just incredible
Wow.
to just eat. I mean, you could if you had gloves, you would pull off the seeds and just eat them by the handful. So
Wonderful.
very nice plant. Um,
So
so,
let's stop this and talk about cats.
oh, yeah.
All right,
Yes,
let's just kidding.
yeah. Well, I can talk about cats as much as I can talk about
Yeah,
this, but
what kind of cats do you have?
so we've got they're all rescue cats,
Okay,
um,
wonderful. I like you more.
right? And two we adopted when they were kittens long time ago. One of them just passed away this year.
Oh,
He
I'm
was
sorry to hear
incredible. He
that.
was a mouser. He would catch all the squirrels and the rats and the mice. He was the sweetheart of the neighborhood. The other one was a birder. So that one is why this bush came
Yeah.
into play. So she's still around. She's 15 plus. The other one was also 15 plus.
Wow.
And in the meantime, I was fostering two young fellows. And after my other cat died, those two just became our cats. And so now I have more cats. And we've had other cats in the middle who've moved on, but they were just with us for a short time. But
Thank you
yeah,
for sharing. We love cat people, and you guys don't buy rescue. That's what I want to say.
yes. Same with dogs. There are so many of them needing help. All right. So for the tour, my husband and I decided we'll make it a little more interactive this year. Every year you want to try something new. We came up with the idea of having a flip card where you have kind of like quiz questions, and then the information you just flip it over to see. So, for example, this one talks about keystone plants and why keystone plants are important, and then you flip it over and it explains, it kind of defines the keystone plants, and then the fact that keystone plants help produce 90% of the energy that we get for food, like for all of us. So 96% of terrestrial birds, not the migratory one, but the ones that are here, rely on the insects that the keystone species provide, and that's why they're called keystone. You take away some of these, if the whole ecosystem will collapse. So that was the goal of this. Um, there's a wonderful advocate of
Mm-hmm.
native plant gardening, and Doug Talamy. He is from the East Coast, but he is such a strong advocate, very vocal. He's got a number of books, and what I really liked was his one quote, which is, "No animals transfer more energy from plants than caterpillars." And so when you think of caterpillars or any insects, right, a lot of times caterpillars we seem to like a lot, but other insects we think of as, ew, get them out of
Yeah,
here. And which maybe, yes, you get them out of your house, but you do want them in your yard. And caterpillars, not all of them convert to butterflies or moths,
exactly.
because their main the main source for birds is the caterpillar part of the phase of the butterfly's life. So if a caterpillar disappears and it's becoming food for a bird, it's actually a good thing. And while we do not like the loss of caterpillars, if it is providing a bird with food, then you're moving up the food chain, the food web.
Yeah, good
So
to
that was
know.
yeah,
Because usually I used to think that, oh, that's a bad thing. But good to know that I learned this today. It is a good thing.
it is a good thing. Yes. So you will see actually. So one of the other keystone species is the California lilac, also the ceanothus. They're called ceanothus. This is by far the easiest plant to grow in gardens, and you will actually find them in other non-native gardens as well, because it smells nice, it looks nice. Um, it can grow from seed, but the local nurseries sell them, or used to sell them even way back. So it was one of the easiest plants to get, which is actually brings me to the point that I am glad local nurseries are now selling more and more California native plants, because otherwise it was really hard to find them. You'd have to go to special nurseries. So that is even Home Depot now is selling
It
seeds.
does. Okay.
Behind us is a forest of sages. We've got black sage, Cleveland sage, white sage, purple sage, and this is the one where I said we didn't know how big it would get. But I am loath to go in there because now there are birds nesting in there.
Oh,
And so now I don't want to go and disturb it. But at some point of time, we do have to go in and thin it out so that it doesn't get diseases,
and
or
it smells really good.
it smells really good. And each one is flowering at their different times. So there are some, the black sage surprisingly actually has white flowers. And the purple sage and the other California sage have white flowers and purple flowers. So it's all very nice. And you can cut them, make them into flower arrangements.
Yeah.
It's very nice. The leaves smell really nice themselves. You can put them into pot pourris to just have a nice smell in various rooms. So that is behind me. It is finished flowering, but this is called a Fremontodendron and or flannel bush, and this is also a really incredible plant. Um, you will find examples of this in places, but it has this very brilliant uh, golden yellow flower.
Yeah.
You
It's
don't,
beautiful.
yeah, you don't want to touch it because unfortunately it does have spiky
Yeah.
stems, and the back of the leaves are also spiky. But when this was in bloom, it was just buzzing with different bees and
Wow.
insects. It is
A
really,
sight to see.
it was a sight to see. Yeah.
And does your hands also itch if you touch them?
Not if you just only if you pick up any of the spikes, but it's not an allergic reaction to the thing, but um, it is because you pick up the little spines, almost like a cactus.
Right.
At least mine doesn't. I don't know. Other people might have
Yeah.
allergic reactions. Um, but we also planted it in this corner because we are on a corner lot,
Yeah.
and this is a really nice barrier to our house and the corner.
Yeah, because
So
you get a good privacy.
we get a little bit of privacy. Yeah. So our hope was to plant taller plants on the outside, especially in this corner area, and then we would have the lower plants on the inside. It has worked in some places. It certainly did not work here because everything grew tall,
Yeah.
which is fine because it's the corner anyways. But that was the goal. There is a little snapdragon under it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just about starting to flower, but we've learned through trial and error, and simply the plant lets you know where it's happy and where it's not. And there's no golden rule, there's no
Right.
magic bullet that, oh, if you plant it here, it will thrive, because everyone's land is different, your water conditions are different, your soil conditions are different. So you try, and if it works, great. You realize this is what it works for this one. You plant it in many different places. Some places it will not do well at all. The key to all native plants is do not water in the summer. And you think that's counterintuitive because
Yeah.
summer in the summer you want to water more. You think, oh my God, the plant is going to be thirsty. But most California native plants uh, will actually die if you water in the summer, because you're going to end up boiling the roots. So you have to really, change your mindset with the California natives and figure out, and group them such so that some plants need no watering at all after they're established. Some plants need a little bit of watering, and then of course if you're in a riparian habitat where there is a stream and you're planting those kind of plants, then you will need to water it.
You know,
um,
people are so nice that they would kill their plants with kindness.
with kindness. Yeah, we have done that. It's taken us many years to learn. You know, if it's looking a little dry, it's okay. That's just what it is supposed to do at this time. But you're right. We all feel like, oh no, it's looking sad. We need to water it.
Yeah.
And that is true for a lot of the plants that we grew up with. So, for example, I'm from India, and India's climate is definitely more humid, and the plants just require more water. And the more water you give them, the better they'll thrive. But that philosophy doesn't apply here because
Nope.
we're in a semi desert, it's called semi arid. We're actually in what is called a Mediterranean climate zone.
Yeah.
And that is, oh, there he comes again. Sorry, the butterfly is very distracting.
I don't
Uh,
blame you. I envy you.
yeah, I'm so excited. This year we've got about 4 or 5 of them flitting about, and I'll show you. They've laid eggs, which is very exciting as well.
You guys, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and keep watching to watch more and more bees and butterflies in this
All
garden.
right, so we're walking through what I call the jungle. And a lot of this jungle is planned, and a lot of it is unplanned. This particular beautiful plant and this one are a giant buckwheat called Saint Catherine's lace. Because when this is in flower, this is actually a beautiful white canopy and looks like lace. We did not plant these two over here. Uh, uh, at one point of time, one of the plants we had planted uh, died. And so it had already seeded, and it was so huge that we literally had to drag it. And wherever we dragged it, it dropped its seeds. And the next season, these plants showed up. Um, we don't mind them. We actually had to shift our pathway around, and that's what you do. You just move your path um, to go around the plants as they
I
grow.
love it.
So that's how this one is kind of like a very crooked and hidden path.
I
Uh,
so much love it because people try to cut down trees to make space for themselves according to their taste, right? And I mean, it is okay. It is their, I mean, they are putting their energy and money and everything. That's okay. I mean, they should do what they like. But I feel like it takes so much consideration and love for nature to, amend what we like and then support the natural habitat, right?
right,
And
just be flexible and work around.
I
um,
appreciate that.
all right. So I welcome you to a part of our garden we call Mount Everest. Uh,
Mount
Mount
Everest.
Everest. This is our little Mount Everest. Because we a few years ago we went through some construction remodeling, and when they dug up the soil to make room for foundation, we, instead of carting it off the property, we asked them to leave it here so that we could create some interest in this mound. And it was much higher when they put it out here. It has, so to me, this is like our Mount Everest because I could climb on top of it and survey um, the entire uh, garden, the front yard at least. Um, but again, for we wanted privacy from the corner, so you've got the Fremont rhododendron. We planted some really fast growing mallow that's called Malva rosa. It grows very quickly, but it also dies quickly. Like its life is maybe 5 or 6 years. It's a little brittle, it'll just fall over. The really cool thing about that one is that even after it falls over, as long as there's a little bit of root, it'll just keep growing, and it'll, straight shoots will grow
Awesome.
out, while that one is crawling around on the floor. It's a very amazing uh, plant, and it does have really nice flowers. It
Pink
The
flowers.
pink flowers. So Malva is for mallow, and Rosa is for rose, the rose color. It actually, interestingly, is part of the rose family, but not the European roses, the roses here. So mallow and rose. Mallows are roses, um, or roses are mallows, whichever way you want to look at
Potato,
it.
potato.
Potato. Well, I think the genus and the family,
Yeah.
whichever, I forget which one is the higher one. But next to it, and we did not plant this plant, this existed. This was probably one of the reasons why we actually bought this house when we did, because when we were looking for houses, this was flowering. There's a huge specimen behind me outside of the fence, and it was just, it looks like fried eggs. It is amazing. It is the giant poppy, Matilda poppy, and you'll notice, right, that the flowers do look like sunny side up eggs. And it is just a spectacular flower, a spectacular plant. It is one of those which needs fire to propagate, though you can propagate it from rhizomes. So that one plant has been sending runners through, and every once in a while we have to go and clear it up. In fact, there's a fire hydrant over here which we did not know existed, because the whole the plant had surrounded it. And then the firemen came and they mercilessly hacked the
Oh
plant down.
no.
But this can take that kind of abuse, because it just keeps coming back. Once it is established, it will just keep growing through rhizomes. It does have a nice smell. The bees love it. And I mean, we love it. Anybody walking by just looks at it. It is really an amazing plant. It should die down in the summer. So if you drive along 280 between near Dianza exit, you'll notice all these showing up around now. And then during the rest of the year, they just look like spindly little sticks, dried up. But when they're in bloom, they are pretty spectacular. So just an amazing, amazing plant. The rest of the Mount Everest does have a variety. We've tried different things in here. Some have survived, some have not. We do have another California buckwheat, the volunteer St. Catherine's lace, and we've got some monkey flowers, sticky monkey flowers, which is really another super cool plant that you see when you go hiking anywhere along. Um, Actually, even in Southern California, there are so many varieties, but the wild one is called the sticky monkey flower. And then anything else which has different colors uh, are um, are hybrids which
Right.
people have propagated. But they're just really cool plants. And this is looking kind of ratty, but don't water it,
Yeah.
because it will then it will definitely die. So that's the key with most natives is, in the summer your garden will kind of look less flourishing, but then everything comes back, and it completely dies down in the fall. But then when the rains come in the winter, because that's the key, is we get winter rain and a dry cool summer. So every plant has adapted itself to that climate. And if you let it be in that climate, then you're not struggling to keep things alive. Whereas, like when we plant all of our other plants from Europe or Asia, you're always having to baby them to get them to stay alive.
Yeah, so
So
I think it doesn't hurt to say patience is the key here.
patience and a little bit of um, shift in philosophy that things are things will die down and come back, right? That it's not always going to be,
Yeah.
and that's true even with other plants, right? The flowering plants, the flowers go away, and then when they come back in the spring, it brings so much joy.
That's how gardening works, I guess.
Yeah. Want to talk a little bit about the mock orange? It's called mock orange because it has a faint smell similar to orange blossom flowers. But again, this is also from the Channel Islands. So it's not native to our region, but native to California. And maybe that's why the two buddies are happy to be with each other. This particular one, uh, for the first 4 years, we were not even sure if it's going to survive. And then, boom, suddenly 2 years ago, it like shot up to the height it is now. And this year it has had the most brilliant and profuse flowers. It would not have been like this if you'd come last year, and I don't know if it will be like this when you come next year. But
Oh,
it's just like we are so happy that this year it has done what it's doing.
because this garden is going to be featured on home garden tours, and we are lucky because we have this beautiful flowers here.
Yes.
So thank you, flowers.
Yeah. I wish you could smell. You could put the smell on your video too, but
Yeah,
it's just amazing. So this is another little mound that we created, and this one is actually truly uh, like almost no watering at all because it has lots of buckwheats. So this is called this is the not Shasta, the Conejo buckwheat, and that is the sulfur buckwheat. So there's a few buckwheats that are yellow, and that's where the name like sulfur buckwheat comes from. Um, it's a really compact, but so pretty that you look at it and it just brings a smile to your face when when the whole thing is in. It's like a mound of yellow when you look at it.
it is
Um,
still looking so
it
good.
is
The
looking very
variations in
pretty.
color and
Yeah.
texture.
And if you look on the other side, and you'll see it later, just a little bit of difference in, they're both the same plant, but just a little bit of difference from the amount of shade the other one gets compared to this. The colors have changed. So the plants really know how to adapt to shade and water and the conditions around them. So it's to me, it's always so amazing to watch these little differences just in this, in within 2 feet of each other.
Yeah,
Um, but again, this is normally buzzing with so many bees, and you can see like from super teeny tiny bees to the nice fat bumblebees, and every once in a while we get something called the teddy bear bee
teddy
with
bear
teddy
bees.
bear bees. They are really amazing. They're like big bees. The male of the species is like this big bee, and it's bright orange to brown. And every once in a while, we get one of those, and there's such a joy to watch. And all of us look. Anybody who's growing native plants is really looking forward, like, oh, we spotted that bee in our garden. So that is
I
a
really want to spot that bee right now.
yes. I would love to see that bee. Um, but the other things we have growing are hummingbird sage, which is also, as the name suggests, it is really a treat for hummingbirds. This one has pretty much finished flowering, but this one gets apricot colored flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, the hummingbird sage is like a magenta colored flower, and we'll see more of them elsewhere. But it's a joy to see the hummingbirds coming in because it's just perfect for them to put their little beaks in. And there are so many clusters of flowers together that it's like you come to one little patch and the
Yeah,
hummingbird is fed for many hours. So that's what's going on here. Of course, we planted another manzanita. There are volunteer buttercup which have grown here. We planted a few, but most of them have just come in on their own. We did have something called an Edgewood mallow earlier, and that is a beautiful big mallow. Unfortunately, the gophers got the roots.
oh no.
So yes,
Yeah.
things die, come back. We planted a new one with the hope that this time we'll be able to
So how do you keep the situation in control?
you don't.
Yeah,
We currently have rabbits, and rabbits have been, you have to be really careful because they like to eat all the tender tops and will stop the plant from growing. It will just eat up the top of
yeah,
the growing plant. There are moles, but it's all part of the ecosystem.
right.
You hope that you plant enough that something will survive. And our philosophy is, if it didn't survive, then this was not the place for it. or we need to do something differently. But we do not go around trapping gophers or
Yeah, because I was going to say, have you ever considered using the mesh bucket thingy that goes down in the
so
soil?
that is actually, I'm glad you brought that up. So here's the trouble with those. Unless your root system is very compact, what would happen is the any roots that go outside of the little mesh, even if you go in for the
Yeah.
big mesh, the rabbits or the gophers will eat around it. And so now you're basically created a ball of root for your plant, and it's not keeping up with the spreading branches,
Mm-hmm.
and it is going to fall over.
Oh,
So it's
interesting.
an unfortunate part of so small plants, yes, as long as the roots don't go far beyond the mesh, will survive. But the moment you try to plant like an edgewood mallow or a buckwheat and you put it in a gopher cage, the gophers will eat anything that grows outside, and then you're not actually helping the plant much.
That's a
So
bummer.
that is a bummer, unfortunate. So the best is get a cat.
Get a cat.
Get a cat.
There you go, guys. Get a cat.
Get a cat. I do want to bring attention to this particular plant. It's called a soap plant, and it comes up every year. So it dies down and it comes up. So it's kind of like a bulb. The beauty of this plant is that the flowers will open after sundown. So as soon as the sun is setting, you can literally sit here and watch the flower open, and the bees are waiting. So they'll be buzzing around, waiting,
Lovely.
because it's one of the last flowers to open for the day. And it's just so incredible to watch, like one by one, the petals opening and the bees just like literally attacking it, I mean, kind of attacking it to get to the nectar. And
Yeah.
you see the legs of the bees just laden with yellow pollen as they go from flower to flower. So, so that's the incredible thing about the flowers. But the reason why it's called a soap plant is that in the leaves, if you touch them, they give out some kind of a soapy um, mixture, which
Interesting.
is very useful when you are out in the wild and you don't have toilet paper and
Oh,
you want to wash your hands or
yeah.
sanitize your hands. So it's like soap, you just rub it and you've got like natural soap. So when
Amazing.
it's very amazing. So when the explorers were coming over, the Native Americans who used to live here, they're the ones who showed them how to use this to keep, to keep clean.
Yeah.
So there's so between this plant and there's another plant whose name I cannot remember, but that can absolutely be a replacement for toilet paper out in the wilds. So I thought that
For
is
real?
an that is an interesting thing to talk about. Um, the other thing is, so in this area we wanted to have a meadow like feeling. Mostly we scattered seeds of something called clarkia. That is what these pink and peach flowers are. They do come in many different shapes and sizes. This particular one is called an elegant clarkia, but there's also something that looks like a wine chalice, and so it's like the chalice clarkia. um, that is a gum plant,
A
because
gum plant.
yes, the inside of this is like a sticky gum. So that is a really and you'll find all these when you're walking around any of the wildflower hikes.
Yeah.
You'll typically find these out there. So the clarkia, the gum plant, the little blue ones are the blue gilias or globe gilias. That also you find just walking around on any of your hikes. And then there's the yellow buttercups, which have finished blooming right now. A few of them are still blooming, but so when we hoped that this would be kind of like the meadow feeling, and uh, it's really spectacular when everything is blooming.
Yeah.
There are some bulbs in there too which have finished blooming. There's a little one-leafed onion which is blooming over there. The alliums, there are native alliums, which is the family of the onions that are also blooming. There are volunteers of aloe that just came. They like living in there, so they're there. There's a volunteer milkweed which is grown there, and I'm hoping that that's one of the places where the monarch has been laying its eggs.
Oh,
We'll see.
we would like to see them.
We would love to see that. So I do have some more in the back, and that one does have eggs, which we're waiting to see. Hopefully, they will get butterflies, caterpillars soon.
Yes, fingers crossed, guys.
Fingers crossed. All right.
Can I ask you a question? Which is your favorite part? Is the front garden or the back garden?
So here we have the showy milkweed, which is one of the favorites of the monarch butterflies.